Hi, I'm Jim Gordon, and you're watching Market 1 Minute. Joining us is Shayne Nyquvest. He is the chairman of Universal Ibogaine, Inc. Thank you for joining us here in the studio.
Thanks for having me.
You're quite welcome, Shayne. Before we get to the company itself and questions about that, let's get a little background on your history.
Well, growing up on the wrong side of the tracks in Winnipeg, sort of emerging into, what was at that point Canada. We sort of financed some of the companies that are now part of 5 or 10% of the TSX 300 today. It's a very simple formula, and take good people, finance them and back them. And I tried to retire about 7 or 8 years ago, wasn't very good at it. And, coming upon Ibogaine, which in my opinion is the granddaddy of all the psychedelics that are coming to the forefront. And, we're here to try and make a difference in society. It's my last philanthropic deal, and it's also the biggest market I've ever seen in my life. How did I become convinced? I probably have referred 30 to 50 people down there in the last 2 years in getting into the clinic and going through the whole process myself twice. I would say emphatically in my mind, this is a game changer. But like COVID-19, there has to be a regulatory process of approvals and clinical trials. And so we've kind of spent the last year and a half and a couple $1 million getting a safety protocol moved forward to the point that we can now enter clinical trials. We have a clinic in Cancun who has processed 3,700-ish people with a 95% success rate of getting through detox relatively painlessly in 18 hours.
Talk briefly about how the treatments work.
Sure. We do a pre-screening, which is very important to get that done and established and see if you're a successful candidate to do Ibogaine. And once we do that, the first 2 days that are spent at our clinic, we retest everything you've told us because this is a desperate situation. People can omit things that might be, peril to themselves. And from that point, the actual experience is a roughly 18-hour experience. The medical side of it, if you want my layman's term, you have a neurosensor in your brain, is like a wire with insulation. Years of addiction wears the insulation off. Ibogaine re-insulates that wire.
Shayne, talk about the priorities that you see in getting Ibogaine legalized in the world.
We have a crisis that is way over a pandemic proportion at the moment that is killing people left, right, and center. And Ibogaine, in my opinion, is without a doubt the biggest movement of the needle of addiction that I've ever seen in my 40 years of watching an industry with a huge failure rate and wondering how it exists today. Ibogaine is not a silver bullet, but what keeps people in addiction for decades at a time is the pain of getting through detox.
One last question for you. Let's talk about financing. How do you see the company financing going forward?
Going forward, I think, we're going to take this company public in hopefully about 90 days from now.
Shayne, I appreciate your thoughts, your insight. We wish you the best of luck, and thanks for joining us here.
Thanks for having me.
Hi, I'm Jim Gordon. Thanks for watching this Market 1 Minute on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with other videos that we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click on this list to see other great videos from Market 1. And thank you again for watching.